Recording in progress.
Leah, sorry. Isabella, is there a Pesco or is that your last name? Huh?
Last names.
Oh, it's last name, sorry. Okay. So somebody can lead us in the flag scene.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah. The Pacifica School District acknowledges that we gather on this unceded ancestral homeland of the Ramaytush people.
As guests, we humbly extend our gratitude to the Ramaytush people, elders and community. We recognize that we benefit from living and working on their traditional homeland, and we affirm their sovereign rights as First Peoples.
As the original stewards of this land, the Ramaytush understand the interconnectedness of all things in the
Pacifica School District commits to teaching our school community how to be responsible stewards of this land.
Thank you. And then did you want to give us an update of your school?
So far this year, we have gone over the student survey data from the panorama survey, and in January, we organized a kindness week. Every day of that week, we did a different activity, and every grade got to participate in the activities. And we have talked about planning.
Recording in progress.
And we have talked about planning.
You need to mute the computer. Mute the computer.
It's my turn. Well, what we did was like the kindness week, and we did one of the days we did chalk where we wrote kind messages on chalk with chalk on the blacktop. And the other days we made cards for staff in our school. And then another one we got to read to the first graders and kindergartners.
I got to make a video with another member of the Student Advisory Council about what kindness means to them for kindness week.
Thank you. And if you hadn't noticed, our superintendent is joining us on Zoom. And Barbara, can you take the roll call, please?
Yes, trustee Patel.
Here.
Trustee Egan here. Trustee Doggett here. Trustee Patel.
Here.
Trustee Villalobos.
Here. The district records the audio portion of the meetings. All recordings are kept in the superintendent's office for 30 days and are available during that time period for inspection by members of the public on district equipment without charge. In-person speakers wishing to address the board on agenda or non-agenda items, please complete a request card with your name, address, and the item number and submit it to the board president or the vice president. You will be called to address the board and may speak up to 3 minutes. Virtual speakers wishing to address the board on agenda or non-agenda items, please submit your first and last name and agenda item you wish to speak on in the Q&A area of the webinar. Please do not submit comments or questions in the Q&A area. You will be called to address the board. Your microphone will be unmuted and you may speak for up to 3 minutes. Please note, the public is welcome to provide comment to the board. Remarks are limited to 3 minutes unless extended or limited by vote of the board. A maximum of 20 minutes, unless extended by the board, is allocated for each subject discussed. The Brown Act open meeting regulations, under which the board must operate, do not allow board members to comment on non-agenda items or information you may bring up that are not on the agenda. Additionally, no action can be taken. However, the board may give direction to staff following a comment. And then approval of the agenda. Are there any comments about the agenda?
About the agenda, no, but the consent agenda, there's one item I'd like to pull out.
Okay.
It's 8J. The Neo Immersion Montessori School permit. I just like to I have a few questions about it.
Okay, so
we pulled and addressed that was me.
so do I have a motion to approve the agenda with the pulling of that one and not consent agenda? A motion to approve. Second?
I'll second. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes 5-0.
That's the approval of the consent agenda or the agenda?
The agenda.
That was the agenda.
7, report out on closed
I think
session.
we need to address the one item first, right here. That item that was full.
No, we'll address it in the regular. When we
Yeah,
get
in
to
the regular. The board met in closed session to discuss the closed session items, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, government code 54956.9, NG versus Pacifica School District. No action was taken. Public employee performance evaluation, GC 54957, title superintendent. No action was taken. Conference with labor negotiators, government code section 54957.6. Agency designated representative Darnice Williams, superintendent. Employee organization, Laguna Salada Education Association, LSEA. No action was taken. Conference with labor negotiators, government code section 54957.6, agency designated representative, Darnice Williams, superintendent. Employee organization, California School Employees Association, CSEA. No action was taken. Conference with labor negotiators, government code section 54957.6, agency designated representative, Darnice Williams, superintendent. Employee organization, Laguna Salada Management Association, or LSMA. No action was taken. And now we're moving on to the consent agenda. Approval of the consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda will be approved with one motion, which is not debatable, and which requires a unanimous vote for passage. If any member of the board, the superintendent, or the public so requests, any item shall be removed from this section and placed in the regular order of business following approval of the consent agenda. Are there any questions regarding the consent agenda? So this would be where we're going to pull.
Yeah.
And do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve with the removal of J.
A second?
Second. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes 5-0. So,
All right. Superintendent and board special recognitions.
We need to do that item J. in
you
order.
have to,
The item that was full.
you have to address J separately.
I thought we were going to do it in the order.
It says in the regular order following approval of the consent.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, I just had some questions about this particular contract. I know that we're making adjustments on the fees, but the monthly fees seem really low, and I'm just trying to understand how we got to that number and what are they renting? Like, it didn't have enough information in the contract to justify the low fee in my mind. I don't know what space they're renting. But I want to make sure that we're getting, the proper amount of fee. And I know we're changing some fees today, but it just, the other two contracts, I understood when I saw them, I was like, okay, this one's kind of like a barter, we need them, that's fine. The other one, the fee seemed reasonable, but this one was only, I'm not even sure this one, the fees seemed really low, $1,300 a month. It just seems really below market value.
Yeah, so I can review that with you. So our fees are low district-wide. We have been making a concerted effort to raise our fees annually. So this includes a 5% increase. All of our tenants are charged the same fee, and we've been increasing it by 5% annually. We can bring back at another time if the board desires to have a higher increase. But the 5% seems palatable for now, as we've received pushback from tenants when we do the 5% increase. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is monthly. So it's, over $15,000 a year. And in addition to that, we bill for all of the utilities.
Yeah.
So we're not out of pocket for any of that and garbage. It is really only for one room.
Okay.
This tenant would have liked to expand into more space, but this is kind of just a 1-year thing for the one room and a restroom and access to common areas. So I agree with you. The fee is low in this real estate market.
How many students are in this space?
I don't know. It's an after-school neo-immersion bilingual program, so it's going to be
after school program. Like it just like to me, it wasn't enough detail in the contract for it to make sense. And I needed to ask what are we renting? How long are we renting it? How many people? Those things weren't there. So just for future reference, it would be helpful, like especially when we're now trying to make sure we're getting closer to market value for our spaces so that we are bringing in as much revenue as possible for our district, that we get close to that, what's marketable, but also that there will be details in the contract to say that this is just for one room, because it said space, but it didn't say it's one room. It didn't say the hours. For me, hearing after school helps. Like, it's not a lot of time. Now it's making more sense. And that's why I just wanted to ask some questions to get some clarification.
Yeah, thank you for asking. You're right. It doesn't say how many, it just has the C18 and restroom, but it doesn't have like the description of the program and all that. So I think that's a good point. We should have that appendix in all of our contracts going forward, describing the program, how many people. It is after school at this time, and it's based on licensing, so they're not going to be able to have a lot of people in the room.
Okay, and it's just from 2:30 to 7, or it's like 5 hours a day, something.
Yeah,
like
I can get the more details of the program rather than, guessing right now. The one thing to note to the board is we had 2 people wanting to rent the whole A wing, and we, didn't want to move too quickly because we want to review all of our fee structures and review our space. But I want to let you know that there are people that want to rent the whole A wing if we our program relocates. We just had this one room in the C wing where we already had tenants. So we thought, okay, this is a good start, to fill that space. But we do have some prospects for the whole A wing going forward. And we will make sure we include all of that information for the next time when we have a lease.
And it would also be helpful to know what the market value is for the space. So we know how much of a discount we're giving. What is the revenue that we're losing? Because again, going forward with our facilities rentals, we've lost revenue for years and years and years because we were charging way under market, and we can't do that anymore.
Yes, I think we need to hire more of a real estate person when we do a more strategic lease plan for the A wing and the rest of our space. I think when we're renting space on our campuses to the daycares that provide support to our students, that's in a little different category. But now that Lindemar is going to be vacant, I think we need to make sure we're getting market rate on this property.
What the only thing is we have been discussing too is just also is trying to slow down a little bit on our consultants and hiring of people to come up with these things. I mean, the real estate rental market is pretty easily found on the internet these days. So maybe someone could just find an hour to do some research.
I can do comparables, get information from other school districts, some commercial properties as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up.
I guess we need to make a motion to approve this one,
We can.
because it was in
It was
the,
a consent agenda.
so I'll make a motion to approve it. I just wanted to have some questions.
I'll second.
All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, so now we're on number 9, superintendent and board special recognitions. Darnice?
Good evening, everyone.
You're muted.
The
Uh-oh.
superintendent and board will recognize Mark Sessler for his contributions to the students of the Cabrillo Elementary.
You can hear them.
He's here?
No, you can.
Oh.
Darlene, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Is that going again?
Okay.
All right.
Cabrillo Elementary School community and Bridget Hart for her efforts to support the passage of the Measure G bond.
Good evening, everyone. This is one of our exciting moments in the program where we're able to acknowledge our community members and our staff for just stellar work and contributions to make us even a better place and organization to work and live in every day. And so first up, it is with our honor that we acknowledge Mark Sessler, who has been involved, and he has been a pivotal community member and a parent at Cabrillo School. Mr. Sessler's journey with Cabrillo began long before he became a parent. He is a proud owner of the Green Room in Pacifica and has shared his musical talents with thousands of Pacifica's children. Starting in 2001, Mr. Sessler started teaching Cabrillo's first and second grade students in music, which he continued to do until 2023. In 2022, he began teaching guitar, the ukulele, and giving lessons to Cabrillo's middle school students in elective classes, which he continues to do, as well as after-school enrichment classes. That's a lot of time and support for our students, and we appreciate it. Since 2011, he has worked with our fourth grade students teaching music and helping them prepare for their Gold Dust and Bust musical, which is an amazing production. The team works on it all year long and leading up to a spring conference performance. Mark is an accomplished musician, and he has chosen to share his time and talents with Cabrillo and with the Pacifica School District for almost 25 years. This evening, we are honored that he continues to serve our community, and we couldn't be more proud of the work that he has done, not only in Cabrillo, but the work and influence that he has had across Pacifica School District. For our students and our families alike, in all the years he has served as a volunteer. The immense impact he has had and has made in the community is outstanding and goes across the world as a beautiful sentiment in terms of music, love for the arts, support of the arts, and most importantly, support of our kids. We are thankful for the years of service he has given to Cabrillo and to Pacifica School District students and the children within the broader community of Pacifica. With that, would you please come forward, Mr. Sessler, as we have a special certificate for you. Board President.
Oh,
Well, we just want to say thank you, and we appreciate you. He's not in and he's not on. Is he virtual?
On his behalf, we have the certificate.
Darnice, since you weren't here, your name's not on it. Do you just want me to give it and you can stop by there and sign it?
Yes, yes. And we can still read it.
Thank you.
Might we be able to read it? I'd like to read it. So, Principal Parrish.
Asking if you could read what it says.
Oh, read what's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me go over there because I know Darnice would sign it.
Pacifica School District Board of Trustees and Superintendent present this certificate of appreciation awarded to Mark Sessler Thank you for your service and commitment to our students and staff, awarded this first day of May 2024.
Thank you so much. In addition, we have another very important volunteer and person within our community. And everyone hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. So tonight we want to recognize Bridget Hart for her amazing volunteer work, not only for Sunset Ridge, but for the entire Pacifica community. Bridget has been a parent at Sunset Ridge since her son Leo started kindergarten in 2021. She quickly joined the PTO and then became PTO treasurer. She has spent hours organizing Sunset Ridge's budget and had an outside auditor review the books to ensure that all the necessary procedures were being followed. She implemented improvements that will go well on into the future. Bridget is also an active member of the Superintendent's Budget Advisory Committee, assisting the entire district to focus on supporting our kids. This past fall, Bridget did the district a super favor. And also she stepped right in to lead our Measure G bond campaign. She learned so quickly about the processes necessary to pass the bond. She pulled people together to canvass neighborhoods, distributed flyers, passed out salon signs and support. She was out making phone calls. She made sure that the word got out. At every PTO in the district. She attended countless meetings, and I can attest evenings as well, late evening emails she responded to, and she sent with just professionalism and enthusiasm for the district and also the work. She stated that she's learned so much about school finances that she never knew before. And so Bridget is calm. She's very calm. She's very innovative. She's patient and dedicated to supporting our entire Pacifica community as well as the school district. She supports every child at Sunset Ridge and also our families as well. We are definitely indebted to her for all of her support, and we know that Bridget Hart is a stand-up mom, a stand-up person, as whenever you need help, if you need a word of encouragement, somehow she finds you. She may whisper it to you. She may send you a note, but she's always there to support you. And she has a very kind and compassionate heart. And so we are thrilled this evening to thank you for your support, your service, and your time. And we appreciate you so much. And guess what? Because of your efforts, in addition to the support of the entire Pacifica community, we were successful in passing Measure G. And so thank you so much. Would you please come forward?
And I will add, my daughter goes to Sunset Ridge, and I said hi to Bridget one day, and she goes, "You know her?" And I said, "Yeah." She's like, "She's the school boss."
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Good to know. I know people in high places.
Okay, Bridget, do you want to go up to the stand?
Yes, and if we can present her certificate prior to her words. Her acceptance.
Wanted everybody to see.
Yeah.
Zoom in. I'm not gonna lean it over. But it says heartfelt thank you.
Wow.
And this is her certificate of appreciation awarded to Bridget Hart. Thank you for your service and commitment to our students and staff awarded this first day of May 2024. And Darnice will stop by. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Can I say a couple things?
Sure.
I feel very grateful to have been given the opportunity to serve the school community with this project. As construction continues rolling out and updates are made, let's remember our collective goal of improving our schools for every student. That's what unites us. I couldn't have made this. This could not have happened without the support from the district and the board. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bridget. Double hugs to you. Wish I could be there.
Want
to stay for PCT?
Nice job.
So we're going to take an adjournment for 15 minutes so everybody can enjoy the cake.
No, I found out. No, I mean.
Hello. Oh, is it back on? Yeah. LSCA had a meeting yesterday with Dr. Williams and Dr. Chavez Torres. We discussed various items. While it is only May 1st, we spent a chunk of time discussing next year in regards to personnel. We hope the conversation continues regarding steps to fill open positions, ensuring we are not spending money frivolously to cast a wide net or adjusting salaries of administrators to attract certain candidates would be concerning for all. We understand we want the best for our district, but when we are on the heels of cutting classified staff and counselors, have a low teacher salary schedule, this would not be a good look for the board or the district. We shared frustration with the transition of our Lindemar special day classes to other school sites. Our impacted teachers have raised issues and concerns since this was brought forward to them, and the most basic and logistical issues they raise are being ignored by administrators, such as sharing bathrooms, safe access to play spaces, and mainstreaming opportunities to continue to not have answers. LSEA expressed that the importance of the visible presence of the cabinet and board members at school events. We shared our disappointment that there was zero representation at the Ocean Shore School Library dedication to Patty McNally, who served this community for 45 years. We discussed how important all of your presence and visibility is at our school open house nights. We encourage you to make it to every classroom and show appreciation and pride in our students, teachers, and staff. It takes time, but these are big events and we think you'd want to be seen. You know, we are constantly harping about working together as a team. Come, be seen, participate, and get in the game. LSEA leadership had glimmers of hope that Trustee Patel may be reaching out to us and our work to work on our communication and teamwork. Trustee Patel made contact with Greg Bonacorsi, who sits on the CTA Board of Directors, to have a meeting. Greg has been a huge fan of LSEA for years and is always willing to do anything for us to be successful. He is well aware of the roadblocks we face in this district in regards to communication or lack of it with our board. He left the meeting on April 22nd with the impression LSEA would be hearing soon from Trustee Patel. We haven't yet. We still expect to see a follow-up and hope Greg's time was well spent. LSEA and CSEA quickly coordinated our end of the year social. The calendar is getting full as we look at the events ahead. All PSD employees and trustees are welcome, and we look forward to celebrating our executive board, site reps, and retirees. Thank you.
And next we have CSEA.
Hello, my name is Nicole Sayers and I am the president of CSEA Chapter 128 Pacifica. Tonight, I would like to welcome Rafael Huerta, a custodian 2 at Ocean Shore, and Rebecca Lazaro, a library media technician at Sunset Ridge. Tonight, our above and beyond recipients are Sue Beckmeyer and Lauren Reynolds. Sue has been a district employee since 2006. She has worked in many positions, including instructional aide, paraprofessional, and most currently as a library media tech at Cabrillo since 2013. Sue goes above and beyond on a consistent basis to serve not only Cabrillo students, staff, and families, but also the district as a whole. She has served her fellow classified brothers and sisters in many positions on the CSEA Chapter 128 Executive Board, including as president of our chapter. She strives to excel at all she does, and our district is a better place to work because of her efforts past and present. Lauren Reynolds is a longtime district employee that has worked in the district since 1991. She has served in many positions, including school assistant, crossing guard, paraprofessional, and library media tech. Lauren has worked at several schools in the district, but has been an integral part of the Sunset Ridge community from the start of the district, her start in the district. Lauren retires at the end of this school year. She will be missed, but the love and care that she has poured into her students, staff, and families at Sunset Ridge will remain. CSEA Chapter 128 would like to thank both Sue and Lauren for their dedication to our students. They go above and beyond to make their school libraries fun and engaging places for the students who learn and grow. These two very special ladies are the embodiment of dedication, hard work, and commitment. They tirelessly serve their school communities, the district, and the larger Pacifica community. CSEA Chapter 128 could not be prouder of them. CSEA Chapter 128 is proud of all of our beyond and above and beyond recipients. Our classified employees are dedicated, hardworking people who care about our students, our schools, and our community. CSEA will continue to shine a spotlight on Pacifica School District's wonderful classified employees. We believe that the hard work, the dedication, and the contribution of our valued classified employees should be celebrated and rewarded. Proud, union proud, and union strong. Tonight is my final meeting as the president of Chapter 128 Pacifica. I've been president of the chapter for 3.5 years. I would like all of the Pacifica School District classified employees to know that it has been my honor to represent them through all the good and hard times over the past 3.5 years. They have my sincerest respect for all the good work they do every single day. To remember that without them, the district could not run. They are essential to any of the successes that this district has. I hope that Dr. Williams and the school board will realize that the district is lucky to have such dedicated, responsible, and committed people working in this district. That although you, the school board, have other commitments, like the rest of us do, it is essential for you to personally meet these hardworking classified employees, just as you do the cabinet and other district classified and other people in the district. Classified employees truly care about this district, the students, families, and each other. They are a solid group who show up every day. I will turn my responsibilities to co-presidents, Tiffany Hanna and Charlene Hilo. With their years of service and incredible historical knowledge, they will be remarkable presidents and take this chapter to the next level. As I turn the helm over, I have all faith that they are the right two people at this time to help our members and work with leadership of this district. Moving forward, I hope that CSEA and the district will build trusting and respectful relationships, that they will work peacefully and collaboratively while moving forward. And as always, I thank you for your time.
We're passing and go towards, right? So thank you for all that you do. We are gonna miss you as well. As Patrick.
As Patrick.
Thank goodness. So thank you for all that you've done for our
My pleasure.
our chapter. And we're a little nervous. We got a lot to learn, but we're here and we're willing to.
Yep, and we're all in good
learn.
hands.
Yep. Thank you.
I'd just like to thank Nicole for all of her years of service. I remember years ago going to Ortega and seeing you walk around the halls.
Yeah.
My kids are now 22, 23, 24.
And those kids that I was walking the halls with are out of high school.
So thank you so much for everything you've done for the district.
Thank you.
All right. So next we have Student Board Representatives, Tyler.
Good evening, members of the board and members of the Pacifica School District community. I'm happy to announce an exciting new program that has the potential to steer our district in the right direction. As we know, bullying is an issue in schools. During our last council meeting, we had a special guest from the county that presented a new program to help address bullying in our district. The program is called Stop It. This program has the possibility to make our schools a safer environment for all students by providing them with the tools and resources they need to report bullying anonymously. Through the Stop It program, students will have the opportunity to speak about instances of bullying that they witnessed in school safety or without fear of their peers knowing. This anonymous reporting system will allow site administration to address these issues and ensure that all students feel safe in our schools. With 26 days left of the 2023-2024 school year, I want to take this opportunity to update you about what's happening at schools across the district. IBL had their annual publishing day event where Bulldogs showcased their written work among their peers. IBL also ended their creativity in arts writing contest and all submissions will be shown at IBL's Creativity Arts Night on May 9th at 6 o'clock. All are welcome. Ortega just had their spring carnival and will have their open house and famous basket auction tomorrow night, May 2nd. Cabrillo fifth graders just came back from outdoor ed and eighth graders are in Yosemite currently in Yosemite. Also at Cabrillo, first graders will have tea with grandparents on May 10th. Valleymar had their open house last week and just completed their readathon. Sunset Bridge is having their Jump Rope for Heart fundraiser on May 10th. And lastly, Ocean Shore had their 50th anniversary of being founded as a school Spring Fest. In addition, Ocean Shore will have their annual Ocean Week starting on May 13th. Also, we would like to thank Jefferson Union High School District for inviting all the eighth graders across the district to Terra Nova tomorrow to see Shrek the Musical. And finally, I would like to thank Dr. Williams for creating the Superintendent Student Advisory Council, which allows students' voices to be heard. Thank you.
I didn't get any slips. People wishing to address the board? Barbara, did you get any slips? No. Anyone online? No, nobody. Is there anybody online?
No.
No. Okay. Correspondence. Did anybody receive correspondence? I received an invitation from LSEA and CSEA for the end of the year function, but I have a second job, and so I have to work that evening. And also with the let me remember the award ceremony. Elna Flynn. That's my favorite one because the volunteers are the backbone of our school district. I have to work on that night too. So my apologies, but those were some correspondence that I received. Board and superintendent communications, Dr. Williams.
Good evening again. I too received the invitation to the LSEA and the CSEA end of the year event. I am planning to be in attendance, and so looking forward to celebrating everyone's accomplishments and welcoming the end of the year, celebrating the end of the year and welcoming a new year. I also would like to extend appreciation to our student advisory team. They've been working very, very hard for raising their voices and their advocacy around bullying and seeing the response now that we now have a potential mechanism for students to feel more comfortable in terms of reporting incidents of bullying and knowing that there will be someone on the other end ready to respond. So again, thank you for everything. And to Nicole Sayers, thank you so much for your service to the district. Thank you so much for your advocacy and always being there to remind the board and your superintendent of who's most important and what's most important. And that's our people that we work with and work for and serve every day. Thank you so much, and I wish you the best.
All right. Board Superintendent Communications. Darnice, do you have any communications or was that it?
That was it.
Okay. Does anybody want to start?
I'll go ahead and start. So I participated in the board work study. It was our continuation of our equity training. I also was on the special ed committee meeting, which was a really nice collaborative meeting. I feel like we're finally getting to solutions. And so hopefully our next meeting, we're going to set that to paper. So I did want to also extend a thank you to the IBL teachers, Mrs. Merlot, Mr. Bolter, Mr. Sewell, and Mrs. Parquet, who all went to Washington, D.C. and left at 5 a.m. on a Friday before spring break. And then dealt with all those kids for 5 days. And I actually want to give a shout out to Tyler, who I think was also part of the laying flowers at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers. So thank you for representing us over there in Washington, D.C. So thank you. Also, thank you to Nicole and all of her hard work. And I will be at the Elna Flynn And I hope to make it to the LLCA, CSEA, event on Monday. So that's it for me today.
I attended the board work study on the equity training, and I also met with Dr. Williams. That is pretty much it for me.
Okay, I was at the board work study meeting, CPAC, meeting had, Raquel, the counselor, going over crisis support for our families. And that was attended quite well and also was recorded, so we'll get that out there to the community. There was a parcel tax committee, LCAP, combined meeting with the finance committee. On Earth Day, the Shake Your Tail and Save a Whale, they had the Whale Fest, and all of our schools and PTOs were represented there, and they had activities and booths for the kids, and also special ed. They had, different sensory events for the kids there in the center. So the whole school was represented there, and Dr. Williams also went on the VIP tour that goes around and sees all the sites. It was on the SPED advisory committee. Attended the open house at Valamar. And I have RSVP'd that I'll be going to the LSCA event and Elma Flynn. Things coming up next week.
Hey, I had my weekly meeting with the superintendent, and I have been reaching out to learn from other districts in California and other professionals across the state around three major areas. The first is academic acceleration, how districts are dealing with their budget constraints and any innovative ideas that anybody else might have, and then special education. And I've reached out to 5 board members of 5 districts, spoken with one of them, reaching out to others that I feel, based on the ed data, this is just the publicly available information, where they seem to be making progress in ways that we might be able to learn. As a former CTA member, I reached out to CTA. I also requested a meeting with our superintendent of instruction of California. They responded, but then didn't respond when I responded back. So we'll see. But the intent is really for me, as somebody that has agreed to be on this governance group, to be more informed and have just a wider aperture of things that are happening in the state, ideas from other people. Because sometimes I feel like, what else to do? How can we kind of manage through a lot of these difficult situations? And so what I'm hoping is, once I have more information and ideas, bringing it to you, Dr. Williams. And so saying, here's what we're hearing from other folks around the state. Is anything stuff that we can learn from, that we can adopt, that we can consider? So I'll keep the board informed as I have some of those conversations and any major learnings, but that is the intent of my reaching out. And if I do get an audience with the superintendent of instruction of California, I will let you know, but no response as of yet.
Thank you for doing that. So we have an election coming up in November. And so I wanted to just convey some information if anybody out there is watching or listening. And this is from the CSBA's California School Boards Association. The role of the board: citizen oversight of local government is the cornerstone of democracy in the United States. The role of the trustees who sit on locally elected school boards is to ensure that school districts are responsive to the values, beliefs, and priorities of their communities. Boards fulfill this role by performing 5 major responsibilities. These are setting direction, establishing an effective and efficient structure, providing support, ensuring accountability, and providing community leadership as advocates for children, the school district, and public schools. These 5 responsibilities represent core functions that are so fundamental to a school system accountability to the public that they can only be performed by an elected governing body. Authority is granted to the board as a whole, not each member individually. Therefore, board members fulfill these responsibilities by working together as a governance team with the superintendent to make decisions that will best serve all the students in the community. So I just wanted to put that out there, and at the next meeting, I'll have another role of the board. For my month, I really wanted to attend the Supporting Mental Health at Home and Those in Crisis with Raquel Buchanan. It was recorded, so it is out there. And so I watched it, and I just want to thank Raquel and all the counselors for the work they're doing right now and getting ready for the next year. I've had 4 meetings with the superintendent, and during our weekly meetings, we discuss any array of top topics from curriculum, programs, attendance, upcoming agenda items. I had a meeting with Nicole Anderson and Associates about our equity training. We had the board workshop, which also focused on self-evaluation, teamwork, and relationships. And this was a chance for the board to reconnect. I had a site visit at Ortega, and I just want to thank Principal Romo for allowing me to go into 3 different classrooms, and it was first grade. One of the teachers was a teacher of my son 10 years ago. And what I saw in the classrooms was I saw that the students were engaged. They were learning about social studies in one class, learning about who's a producer, who's a buyer. And then another class was singing in Spanish. And then another one was learning about bird nesting habits. It really is a joy going in there and seeing them, in school with their teacher and enjoying it too. Everybody was enjoying their class. I also attended the Ortega Carnival. And this was, I guess, a professional visit, but also just, I love it. I love it. So I took my granddaughter and she had a blast. She's only 3 and she's like, what's all that music? And she's looking at us like, where are we going? We're going up. And then she got there and right away she started doing her dance move because the music was going. It was so cute. And so she might be a future otter like that. And that's it. All right, so moving on, we have 11 information items. A, first reading, Board Policy and Administrative Regulation 3400, December 2023 updates. Joseph.
Thank you. So Pacifica School District works to ensure that all of our board policies are up to date to ensure that we support students, staff, and communities. The CSBA quarterly updates reflect law changes and regulation changes. So we get quarterly updates, and I'm presenting to you the December 2023 3000 series updates. So there's really only 2, the board policy 3400 and AR 3400. I guess what I'll highlight for you here, it's the management of district assets and accounts. So there's a lot of accounting regulations in here. The one thing that was new based on the law this year was, and it's on the first page, ensuring that the governing board members and district employees who make decisions on behalf of the district with regards to contracts comply with the district's conflict of interest policy. So that was the one area that I wanted to highlight for you tonight. It's an information item for your review. If the board has no changes, then we could bring it back for a second reading on consent at a future board meeting. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
And now we're moving on to number 12, action items. Day of the Teacher and Teacher Appreciation Week, resolution number 2024-0501A, and Classified Employee Week, resolution number 2024-0501B. And this is an action item.
Good evening, Board of Trustees and Superintendent Dr. Williams. Tonight, I am happy to present Day of the Teacher and Teacher Appreciation Week resolution and the Classified Employee Week resolution. In acknowledgement of the important service provided to our students and families by both Pacifica School District's dedicated teachers,
certificated staff, and classified school employees, it is fitting that the month of May be declared and celebrated as School Personnel Appreciation Month, allowing the many members of the school district and larger Pacifica community to thank, acknowledge, and honor the individuals who engage in the noble work of nurturing, taking care of, and educating our children, ensuring each student is well prepared for an evolving world. Since 1986, California has acknowledged the invaluable contributions of classified and certificated employees during the month of May. This year, May 19th to the 25th is designated as Classified School Employee Week, and across the nation, May 7th, 2024 has been designated as National Day of the Teacher, and May 6th to 10th has been designated as Teacher Appreciation Week. Additionally, California has designated May 8th, 2024 as California Day of the Teacher. It is with pleasure that these resolutions are brought to the board in acknowledgement of the many important contributions made by the teachers, certificated employees, and classified school employees of the Pacifica School District on behalf of all our students and families. Therefore, it is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve Resolution number 2024-05018, recognizing May 6th to 10th, 2024 as National Teacher Appreciation Week, May 7th, 2024 as National Day of the Teacher, and May 8th, 2024 as California Day of the Teacher, and Resolution number 2024-0501B, recognizing May 19th to 25th, 2025 as 2024 as Classified Employee Week.
All right. So we have the resolution, and I think we should go ahead and read it. Does everybody have it pulled up? Maybe we could do like a round here and then.
Want to reread it first?
Classified school employee.
This is the teacher appreciation one, right?
Oh, we're doing the teacher one?
Are we doing teacher?
Okay, sorry, my backpack.
I'll go ahead and
So we're doing Day of the Teacher and certificated employee? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Go for it.
Okay. Day of the Teacher and Certificated Employee Appreciation Week. Resolved by the Board of Trustees of Pacifica School District, County of San Mateo, State of California, that whereas former First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt persuaded the 81st Congress of the United States of America to proclaim a National Teacher Day in 1953, and
Whereas National Teacher Appreciation Week was established as the first full week in May in 1985 by the National Parent Teacher Association, and
whereas California Day of the Teacher was modeled after El Dia del Maestro, which is observed in Mexico and Latin American countries, and arose out of legislation co-sponsored by California Teachers Association and the Association of Mexican American Educators in 1982. And since then, a day in May is set aside every year to honor instructional excellence in public schools. And
whereas the Board of Trustees acknowledges and appreciates that Pacifica School District teachers and certificated employees continue working harder than ever in supporting our students in recouping and accelerating learning during the post-pandemic era, and
whereas the Board of Trustees recognizes the Pacifica School District teachers employ countless hours preparing lessons, evaluating progress, counseling, and coaching students by filling roles of listeners, explorers, role models, motivators, and mentors, and
Josie or Joe.
Whereas the Board of Trustees recognizes Pacifica School District teachers nurture the academic, social, emotional, and physical development of students while inspiring lifelong learning, and
Josie.
Whereas the success of our children and communities and the success of our nation, state, and county are considerably influenced by exemplary teachers who devote their heart and mind to helping our public schools and youth excel, and
whereas the teaching profession should be afforded high public esteem and reflect a community's value on public education, and
whereas the Board of Trustees appreciates our public Pacifica School District teachers and all certificated employees who strive to create a learning community that facilitates each and every student's academic and social emotional growth.
Whereas May 6th through May 10th, 2024 has been designated National Teacher Appreciation Week, with May 7th, 2024 proclaimed as National Day of the Teacher and May 8th, 2024 as California Day of the Teacher.
Now therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Pacifica School District proudly proclaims its appreciation for the outstanding job performed each and every day by the teachers and certificated employees of the district who, through their gift of teaching, enrich the lives of all their students. Regularly passed and adopted.
Yeah, we haven't adopted it yet. We have to vote.
Do I have a motion?
Do we want to read the classified resolution?
I know, there's only like 5 paragraphs, so.
Okay. Classified School Employees Week. Resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Pacifica School District, County of San Mateo, State of California, that whereas the education of our youth is imperative to our society, state, nation, and world, and classified employees in the Pacifica School District are the backbone of our public education system. And
whereas the classified school employees of the Pacifica School District provide efficient and effective support and ancillary services that are essential ingredients to excellent teaching, sound administration, and high student achievement, and classified school employees are rarely in the spotlight, but are always central to the activities of our schools, serving with professionalism and dedication, and setting a high standard of care and compassion. And
whereas many classified school employees serve as paraprofessionals and behaviorists, providing direct assistance to certificated staff in the classroom and giving students the individual attention and support they need to succeed academically, and other classified employees perform vital clerical, transportation, food service, office support, maintenance, custodial, and many other functions that sites and district office needs, and which provide many students with important educational services. And
whereas even as our system of public education depends on classified employees to serve students and staff, they often work in challenging circumstances and with diverse talents and true dedication, continue to nurture our students and support their colleagues. And the third full week of May is designated Classified School Employee Week by the state of California.
Now therefore, be resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Pacifica School District hereby recognize and honors the contributions of the classified school employees to quality education in the state of California and in the Pacifica School District, and declares the week of May 19th through 25th, 2024 as Classified School Employee Week in the Pacifica School District.
all right. I'd just like to thank all of the teachers and all of the classified staff, because I work in a school every day. And sometimes the teachers say, don't you want to be a teacher? Because I can't do what you guys do. There's no way. I can be a library technician, but what you guys do is amazing. And what the classified, like the 2 library technicians that were being honored, you know, they're wonderful in the jobs they do, and everybody else too. So thank you. So we need a motion to approve these.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolutions.
I'll second.
All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm on 12 action. It's kind of odd looking. B, final layoff resolution and memorandum of understanding regarding layoff effects. And Carla?
Good evening, Board of Trustees and Superintendent Dr. Williams. Tonight, I also present the final layoff resolutions and memorandum of understanding regarding layoff effects. On March 18, 2024, CSEA and its chapter number 128 came to an agreement with a memorandum of understanding regarding layoff effects for affected classified unit members. Final layoff resolutions are now brought to the Board of Trustees for both classified and certificated employees that are affected. Employees will receive a final layoff notice before May 15th, 2024. Therefore, it is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the final layoff resolutions 2024-0501C and 2024-0501D and the memorandum of understanding regarding layoff effects.
Are there any questions regarding this item?
I just want to make a comment. I really appreciate everybody going back and revisiting this, and I think at the end of the day, it really all worked out well for the district, so I appreciate it.
And do I have a motion to adopt resolution 2024-0501C and 2024-0501D?
I left up in the
Oh, okay. So
the resolution is and
the memorandum of understanding. Okay. So let me do that over again. Do I have a motion to adopt resolution 2024-0501C and 2024-0501D and the memorandum of understanding regarding layoff effects?
I'll make the motion to approve. I'll second. All in favor, please raise your hand. You have this 5-0.
Okay. Approval of updated job description for Executive Director, Education Support Services. Carla.
Good evening, Board of Trustees and Superintendent Dr. Williams. Tonight, we would like to present an updated job description for the position of Executive Director, Education Support Services. Our current Executive Director, Education Support Services, Will Lucy, has given notice of his retirement after serving the Pacifica School District for 8 years. We thank Will for all his contributions and dedication to our Pacifica School District community and wish him the best in his next adventure. The updated job description will support the recruitment of the next Executive Director of the Department of Education Support Services. Therefore, it is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the updated job description for the Executive Director, Education Support Services in order to recruit and fill next year's vacant position.
Does anybody have any questions? Yep, Edie.
May I ask what was updated, what's different, what's new on this job description?
I will let Dr. Williams and Will talk about that. I was not a part of updating the job description.
I reviewed it and it was basically the same job description that I came in with. I mean, I think the confusion is that I was not demoted, but the executive was taken off the title and I was Director of Educational Support Services, but the job didn't change much. It's kind of a mixture of a lot of things. So I don't know if you want to add anything, Dr. Williams?
We did eliminate some of the dated language regarding the technology piece. And then the other piece we added was the maybe need to require a weekend and evening work occasionally.
Does anybody? Item. Do I have a motion to approve the updated job description for Executive Director, Education Support Services?
Second.
And we're on D, provisional internship permit request. Carla?
Good evening, Board of Trustees and Superintendent Dr. Williams. Tonight, we would like to present a request to approve a provisional internship permit. In order to exercise additional options in which to fill a vacant certificated position, the Human Resources Department will be submitting provisional internship permit request applications to the Commission on Teacher Credentialing for approval. The provisional internship permit would be for Kristen Borup for the school year 2024-2025. Kristen Borup has applied for an intern resource specialist program teacher position at Sunset Ridge School as part of our Grow Your Own special education teacher pipeline. Kristen Borup has applied to the special education credential program at San Francisco State University and has experience as a paraprofessional in a special education setting. Therefore, it is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the provisional internship permit request for Kristen Borup for school year 2024-2025, which will allow for her to serve as an intern resource specialist program teacher at Sunset Ridge School.
Does anybody have any questions? Okay, so do we have a motion to approve the provisional internship permit request?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
Second. Passes 5-0.
Okay, and we're on E, approval of resolution 2024-0501E, increasing school facility fees. Josie.
Thank you. So tonight, we're asking the board to adopt the resolution to increase school facility fees. So as you recall, those are the fees when there's construction in Pacifica, any kind of changes to housing. Then they file a permit fee, which is collected by the city of Pacifica and Jefferson Union High School District. That fee is then divided between the high school district and Pacifica. The school allocation board reviews the fees annually, and they increased the fees in January. So we went ahead and did our study, which warrants us increasing our fee. And so tonight we are asking the board to adopt this resolution so that we can increase our fees and notify the city and Jefferson Union High School of the fee increase.
Is there anybody questions? So how much more is the fee?
So if you look at the, it's $5.17 is the new fee. And in the report, I had the old fee. It wasn't a huge increase. I think it was like $4.84 before. So it's not a huge increase, but it's per square foot. So every increase in construction adds to the fee.
And just a question, so we set the fee and then Jefferson honors that, or do we agree on it? Like, how does that work?
Thank you for asking. That's the school allocation board sets the fee. So they increased the base fees. We have an agreement with the high school district that Pacifica gets 60% of the fee and they get 40% of the fee. So both school districts are going through this same process, usually around the same few months. And so the fee is increased and we're asking for the increase for our portion, the 60%. Does that make sense?
But so it's based off the recommendation.
It is the school allocation board that makes that. They set the fee.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. Do I have a motion to adopt resolution 2024-0501E?
I'll make a motion to approve.
In a second, that's right.
In favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, and we're moving on to F, approval of resolution 2024-0501F. 2023-2024 budgetary increases and transfers at year end. Action item.
Thank you. So this is a routine matter in order to close the books for the year end. We're asking the board to pass this resolution so that we can make adjustments to the budget in areas where there might be over expenditures and under expenditures, but move the budget between the categories so that we have a positive budget for our year end close for when we submit it to the county. So the county requires that all of our budget balances be positive. So by passing this resolution, you'll enable us to go ahead and make those budget transfers at year end.
Any questions? Do I have a motion to adopt resolution 2024-0501F?
I'll make a motion to approve.
In a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes 5-0.
And moving on to G, approval of resolution 2024-0501G, declaring results of a school bond election held on March 5th, 2024. Action item, and Josie.
Thank you. So we're asking the board to declare the election results for Measure G, and we do have attached the certificate of the Chief Elections Officer, where Mark Church certifies the election results. And so that's attached. And so tonight, we're just asking the board to make a formal resolution certifying the results of Measure G.
Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Yeah.
And thank you to the community and staff and board members, anybody who helped. Okay. Do I have a motion to adopt resolution 2024-0501G?
I'll second.
All in favor, please raise your hand. The motion passes 5-0. Thank you.
And we're on number 8, or letter H. Approval of resolution 2024-0501H, establishing bond oversight committee and approving bylaws and guidelines for conduct of the committee. Action, and Joseph.
Thank you. So we want to continue to be good stewards of our bond funds. We have Measure O, and now we have Measure G. We do have a bond oversight committee for Measure O, and they have reviewed our bond expenditures regularly and brought the reports to the board. This resolution is establishing a bond oversight committee for the new measure and also combining the bond oversight committee members so that we can share with them all of our bond expenditures at one time. And the duties of the committee are still the same. Their duties include informing the public concerning the district's expenditures of bond measure proceeds. They review the expenditures, the expenditure reports, and they ensure that the bond measure expenditures are within the bond language. And then they present the board in a public session with a written report outlining the activities and their conclusions regarding the bond expenditures. We have a list of the composition of the members, and if anybody is interested in joining the bond oversight, there is a link in our agenda item, and they can also call our office directly and we can share with them the application if they'd like to. We're always looking for new members for our bond oversight committee. So we're asking you now to establish the bond oversight committee and approving the bylaws and guidelines for the conduct of the committee.
So are these all the same as, okay.
They're all the same. The only difference is we're adding both measures to the bond oversight committee.
Are there any questions? Okay. Do I have a motion to adopt resolution 2024-0501H? A second?
No, second. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes 5-0. Thank you.
All right, we're on I, approval of resolution 2024-0501. I, requesting the Board of Supervisors of the County of San Mateo to establish a tax rate for bonds for the Pacifica School District. And this is an action item. Josie.
Okay, thank you. This is our last bond item for this evening. Again, for Measure G, we again list the bond language. And now we're asking for a separate resolution so that we can ask the Board of Supervisors to establish the tax rates. Now, our financial advisor, Makiko, was here earlier, and she did prepare the exhibits with the examples of the tax rates. And so this resolution, by adopting this, we'll be able to ask the San Mateo supervisors to establish the tax rates, which will then enable us to draw on the bonds in this year.
Are there any questions? Do I have a motion to adopt resolution 2024-0501I?
I'll make a motion.
A second?
I can't second use it. All in favor, please raise your hands. Motion passes 5-0.
Sorry, blinds.
No, I was just raising my hand. Oh, I just got ahead of myself.
Okay, we're on J, contract regarding Sunset Ridge School multi-purpose dry rot repair, and it's an action item. Josie?
Thank you. So one of our bond projects was upgrading the Sunset Ridge multi-purpose room and the kitchen. And as you know, we did discover some dry rot during that project. So our bond manager went out to bid and able to repair the dry rot so we can complete the project and get the kids back in the kitchen and back in the multi-purpose room. And so we had the bid opening on April 25th. There were two bidders, Cal Pacific for $269,700 and Evra Construction for $368,000. We're asking the board to award the contract to Cal Pacific Construction, Inc. and to authorize staff to enter into contract with this company.
Does anybody have questions?
No, just a comment of, I wonder how big this wall is. It's like huge.
Huge.
Yeah,
I'm just
it's
wondering how
a
they-
huge cost for.
It's not a question I expect you to answer, but 100,000 difference is huge.
It is.
I'm just curious how they had such a big gap.
Yeah, and we have to look at the details of the bid. Evra, it might not be as familiar with our district. Cal Pacific has done several projects for us, so.
All right. Do I have a motion to authorize staff to enter into a contract with Cal Pacific Construction, Inc. for the Sunset Ridge Dry Rot Repair Project?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, we're on number 13, Board of Trustees Superintendent's recap and future agenda items. Does anybody have recap needing?
So I appreciate the update from our student council representative on the potential bullying programs. Stop it, I believe. I'd love to just get a broader overview. Again, this was mentioned, I think, the last piece, and maybe, John, you're about to tell me that it's included somewhere that I'm not seeing.
No,
But just an update on our
At the
bullying.
May 22nd board meeting, we'll be doing a school climate presentation, and we'll have that embedded in there
Great.
because we'll be talking about bullying. So we can give the information and the overview about the Stop It program. We are really excited about it.
And it would be great to get, if possible, some intake from all the schools on what their particular needs are from a bullying standpoint, and then how this program addresses some or all of.
It's essentially an anonymous reporting system.
Okay.
So it's about the reporting, and it's about, doing that reporting in an anonymous way, and then it, consequently alerts the right people, and there's backup in the county, et cetera. So it doesn't have like the substance of here's a restorative, here's how you can build climate, et cetera, et cetera. It's about the reporting.
Yeah.
It's about like, having that be instant and to promote safety.
Yes. Okay. And then the only other question that I had was looking into our math results and performance. I think in planning for next year, just doing a deeper dive on math. I think we talked about it previously, but maybe if we can just understanding what curriculum we use, what the challenges might be, what the opportunities might be. So just doing a math deep dive, the request.
Anybody else? Agenda items, afterthoughts? I'd just like to thank Tyler. Maybe at some point, you can give us like an update of how everything's been going. And then with the new program that you guys want to embed into our school district. If you could be involved in that too, that would be great. And I just want to thank everybody. This seemed like it was a recognition meeting as well as getting business done. To all of the teachers and classified staff. Will, you've been champ to work with. And, I think our next meeting after May 22nd is June 12th. So that's why I wanted to mention Tyler, because you might be on summer vacation.
Yeah, thank you, Will.
All right. So meeting is adjourned at 7:37.
Perfect. That's great.
You can watch